What if the person you trusted most was secretly planning to destroy you? What if the hand you thought would protect you was actually the one holding the knife behind your back? This is not just a story about friendship. It is a story of betrayal, jealousy, and the kind of greed that can shatter even the strongest bonds. Today, you'll witness how two lives, once connected by loyalty and love, slowly turned into a battlefield of lies and hidden motives. And in the end, you'll see how one shocking truth changed everything. It all began years ago, when two friends met under the simplest of circumstances. On the surface, they couldn't have been more different. One came from a life of privilege, while the other had struggled for every small victory. But somehow, fate brought them together. Through late-night talks, shared dreams, and unspoken promises, their bond grew stronger. They laughed together, cried together, and swore they would always have each other's backs. To the world, they were inseparable. Everyone admired their loyalty, their trust, their so-called brotherhood. But beneath the smiles, something darker was growing. A seed of envy, a shadow of resentment. And while one of them continued to trust blindly, the other was secretly waiting for the right moment to strike. At first, the changes were subtle. A missed call here, a broken promise there, small excuses that seemed harmless at the time. But slowly, the cracks began to show. The once open conversations turned into guarded replies. Smiles no longer reached the eyes, and the trust that had once felt unshakable began to tremble. Whispers started to spread. Rumors that one friend was making. Secret deals behind the other's back. Opportunities that should have been shared were taken in silence. Still, the loyal one refused to believe it. He would never betray me, he told himself. We've been through too much together. But deep down, a quiet voice kept asking, what if the rumors are true? What if the person I've trusted all these years is no longer the same? And then the truth came crashing down. One evening, when trust was needed the most, the mask finally slipped. The loyal friend discovered documents, plans that had been hidden, decisions made in secret, and deals signed under his very name. It wasn't just betrayal. It was theft. It was deception. It was the kind of treachery that leaves scars deeper than any wound. In that single moment, everything became clear. The smiles, the excuses, the whispers. It had all been part of a plan. The person he had called brother was the very one tearing his world apart. And the worst part? The betrayal wasn't fueled by necessity. It wasn't about survival. It was about greed. A hunger for power so strong. It destroyed the very bond that had once been unbreakable. The betrayal didn't just break trust. It broke something inside him. Nights once filled with laughter turned into endless hours of silence. Memories of shared dreams now felt like cruel reminders of what had been lost. Every word they had spoken, every promise they had made, replayed in his mind, this time with a painful question. Was any of it ever real? He felt anger. He felt grief. But above all, he felt hollow, like a part of himself had been ripped away. Because betrayal doesn't just come from an enemy. It comes from the one person you never thought would hurt you. And that kind of wound doesn't heal easily. But every story of betrayal reaches a moment of choice. Would he let the pain consume him? Would he sink into bitterness, plotting revenge against the one who had destroyed everything? Or would he rise above it? At first, revenge felt like the only answer. The thought of striking back, of making the traitor feel the same pain, burned like fire in his chest. But revenge is a dangerous path. It chains you to the very person who hurt you. So instead, he chose something far more powerful. He chose to rebuild. He chose to turn his pain into strength. Because sometimes the greatest revenge is not destroying your enemy, but proving that they could never destroy you. In the end, betrayal didn't define him. It transformed him. The scars remained, yes, but they became reminders of lessons learned. He discovered that true strength is not in never being hurt, but in rising every time you are broken. And as for the betrayer, the same greed that had destroyed their friendship eventually consumed him. Because those who climb by stepping on others always fall hardest when the ground beneath them crumbles. This story is not just about friendship or betrayal. It's about all of us. Because at some point in life, we will all face deceit, jealousy, or lies. But what matters is not what others do to us. It's what we choose to do next. Remember this: trust is fragile, betrayal is painful, but resilience is unbreakable. And sometimes, the end of one bond is only the beginning of discovering your true strength. Asterisk.